I'm Kathy Tobel, President of Impact Insights, and this is Coffee and Collaboration, putting IT at the heart of business success. Today my guest is CIO Monique Hines. Welcome, Monique. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thanks for asking me to participate in this Coffee and Collaboration. I think this is a great way of getting really good information to lots of professionals.
And we're thrilled to have you, Monique. Thank you. Monique, we frequently hear about how important innovation is for the future of corporations. And with your experience, what do you believe should be the role of IT when it comes to innovation?
I think IT should be a really proactive, engaged partner in making innovation happen to any companies. I think the role IT plays depends on the maturity of the company. If the company is very reputed to be an innovator, in that kind of a situation, I think IT needs to be a really active partner in the process and really work closely with their business partners to either drive or enable innovation or actually bring innovation to the table to their business partners. If the company is not mature in its innovation journey, IT could take a risk and actually become a champion to help define and drive an innovation agenda for that company. You know the standard, what's the process, the enabling the culture change that it takes to really drive innovation, what metrics do you put in place, those types of things. I think IT in that kind of a situation obviously needs to have credibility.
And I think they are so poised and ready for that in today's marketplace,
yes.
IT organizations.
Yes. And innovation, in today's world is most often really driven by some level of technology, whether it's product innovation or process innovation. So IT needs to be at the heart of it.
It really does. It really does. Thanks so much, Monique. In order to be most effective, it's thought that IT really needs to take a much more business proactive role. So what are your thoughts, Monique, when it comes to discussing things like brand awareness and a corporate alignment with regard to IT and the role that they take?
So IT has, in my view, a stewardship role with the brand of the company and the company itself. Too many of the companies today are so highly dependent on IT and technology for delivering products and services to their clients, their customers, that any one of those experiences could, derail in some way, shape, or form and hurt the brand. So it's critical for CIOs to help connect the dots for their teams on how their day-to-day activities or their support or enabling of strategic agendas really impacts the brand. All it takes is for a system to go down, flights don't take off, and the customer experience is damaged. Or you have a security breach and thousands of records of customer information is made public, you have a damaged customer experience. And IT plays very highly in all of those. So it's imperative that IT teams understand their impact and their ability to promote the brand or damage the brand, and that they take every measure to enhance that brand in every systems that they deliver or production performance that they are focused on a day-to-day basis. Critical.
And it can happen so quickly, like
yes.
you said, just in one moment something
yes.
happens and you can't expect it.
Yes.
So, great view.
And responsiveness in those situations, issues will happen. Your ability to respond to restore that customer experience is really critical.
Thank you. We talk about putting IT at the heart of business success, and it's so critical for them to be the game changer for the future. Can you just let us know, Monique, when you think about what the attributes are, maybe the top 2 attributes that a CIO must have to be the most effective game changer for the future?
Well, being limited to 2 is challenging, but I think probably the primary one would be around being an entrepreneur or beginning to develop that entrepreneurial mindset. It's very easy for us to get comfortable in driving transformation and both within IT and with our business partners. And in that scenario, we're really driving to solutions and performance. An entrepreneur will look at evolving from solutions to driving business value and revenue, whether it's in the existing business or in new businesses that we may need to evolve into. And I think the CIO needs to be in the middle of driving that agenda with the business partners, but also within their IT team. I think the second attribute that I've thought of a lot of lately is around being a learner. The disruptive technologies are hitting us over and over really quickly at a more rapid pace than they've ever been. And it's important that we get ahead of the curve and not end up in a situation where our business partners are bringing them to us while we've been busy driving kind of the internal agenda. But it's really important for us to not just be there from a perspective of understanding the disruptive technology, but what does it take to be successful with it? So that as our business partners get excited about the sales pitch or the value proposition of that disruptive technology, we're also bringing the counterbalance that says, here's what it takes to be successful to implement this. What are the pitfalls? What are the competencies that we need? And I think the balance between that entrepreneurial mindset and that kind of learning of the disruptive technologies and being ahead of the curve are really kind of a great combination for a new game changer CIO.
Excellent viewpoint. Thanks, Monique. We all know that to be a leader, you really need a great team that works alongside with you, Monique. And you talked to us a lot about what it takes from a CIO's position and attributes. Can you also let us know a couple of things that you look for in team members that you believe can be the true game changer team members to support you as a CIO?
Again, just trying to get to two is a challenge, but I'm going to use the word explorer, and I know that that's probably not a traditional way to think about IT people, but to me it describes so many other sub-characteristics that are really important. When you're an explorer, you are someone that is out there trying new things. You're courageous, you're a risk taker. You're going to be out there in the forefront, where no one else maybe has been, and you're really kind of driving towards exploring what things are all about. And that is so contrary to maybe the more typical IT person who is, so accustomed to saying, it's about stability, it's about making sure that performance is going well and that we're delivering to a process. And so those two are a little bit contrary, but every once in a while you really find in your people, people that are excited and passionate to explore new things. And the key for us as leaders is to encourage that. Right? The second thing that I think is really important is people who are willing to learn or have become business savvy. Because when you are driving innovation or game changing of any kind, it's always fun to get enamored with the technology and see something really cool. The key is transitioning it to something that a customer will want to buy, willing to pay for.
Right.
And so it's you really need that combination of someone that's going to become very expert in the technology, but expert in terms of putting themselves as a consumer, as a customer of that product, of that technology, and really being able to say, this has value.
Right. And IT people know better than anyone else. It's really hands-on. They can see it in the forefront. So that's an exciting viewpoint. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is so critical that CIOs and CEOs really come together and are able to collaborate and communicate on ideas for the future, Monique. And what I'd like to know is we've talked a lot about what the CIO can do and the team members can do to really hit that game changer marketplace. What I'd like from you is, could you let me know maybe one thing that, if improved by the CEO, could really, really enhance that collaboration between the CIO and the CEO?
A CEO's role is really to drive culture and performance of the company. and really sets the tone for how the executive team should operate. And I think one of those things that really would drive stronger collaboration at the executive team is if the CEO jointly held accountable both the CIO and the business leaders for success around driving value for IT investments. I think we've seen, probably some extremes where you have organizations where IT is 100% accountable and they're measured on, percent of projects that are on time, on schedule, deliver the right quality, and the business doesn't get measured on that. And then you see the extreme where, well, that's not successful, so let's try where it's the business sponsor. And often in that scenario, that drives improved results, but it also drives a blaming game between the business and IT. And I think if we agree to an executive team that is jointly accountable for what investments need to be made, what value is being expected, and what metrics we jointly hold ourselves and our teams accountable for, I think a CEO will have much, much better results for their IT investments.
Thank you, Monique. That was great. Monique, you have provided us with outstanding insights today. We really thank you for taking this opportunity of being on the show with us here today.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for asking.
And thank all of you for joining us here on Coffee and Collaboration, putting IT at the heart of business success. We look forward to seeing you next time.